it was really good, and then the Nigerian accent comes out naturally, not like in past days when they'll get someone, probably a black American or someone that is not actually African, to play the part of an African, and then they'll start forming accents that are not really African accents. I won't call some bad movies that they did, so hello, welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, you are most welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much, I appreciate it. For the first timers here, I'd like you to please subscribe if you end up enjoying today's video, or you just like seeing this pretty face and you feel like yes, there's a vibe here, then subscribe. Okay, don't forget to click the notification bell so you can get personalized messages or notifications to let you know when next I post a video. Okay, today's video is supposed to be a movie review. Today's video that I'm reviewing is called You Don't Know Me. It's actually a series on Netflix. Okay, yes. Now, You Don't Know Me is based on an actual novel. The novel is actually titled You Do Not Know Me by Imran Mahmood. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I didn't, if you end up watching this video somehow. Okay, it's actually based on a novel. Okay, for people that prefer reading books to actually watching the movie, you might want to check out the book. You Don't Know Me, the movie is starring a Nigerian actor called Samuel Adewumi. Yeah, it's starring Samuel Adewumi, and in the movie, I've forgotten what his name is, sorry. But I actually like the fact that they use a Yoruba actor, a Nigerian actor and a Yoruba actor, because in between scenes, the storyline is they're a Yoruba family that relocated to the UK, and that's where they are. But in between scenes, they switch to Yoruba, and why I like the fact that they used a Yoruba person is because the Yoruba language of flowing fluently in when they switch scenes to speaking Yoruba, it was really good, and then the Nigerian accent comes out naturally, not like in past days when they'll get someone, probably a black American or someone that is not actually African, to play the part of an African, and then they'll start forming accents that are not really African accents. I won't call some bad movies that they did, so but okay, this one was really original. The accents were really original. Here goes the storyline. So it's a young man. He's doing quite well for himself. He sells cars. Yes, he does well for himself selling cars. And one day on his way back from work, I think he has a car of his own, but this day he particularly decides to take the bus. I don't know why. But on the bus, he sees this pretty lady. She's there reading her book, and he's starstruck. You know that thing where they say love at first sight? Love at first sight. That was it for him, I believe. So he sees her, I tries to talk to her, she shoves him, whatever. So after that, he decides to keep on taking the bus for a few weeks, just so he can get to talk to her. And she notices, they finally talk, blah blah blah, he woos her. Fast forward into the part where they actually fall in love. Yes, they fall in love, and she moves out of her house, her apartment, and moves into his. They're not married yet, but it's love, and the love is going well. He introduces her to his family. She's kind of like a quiet person per se. Well, I call it quiet person or secretive. She's a secretive person, and she doesn't tell him much about herself. She doesn't talk about her family. She's like, whenever he asks the question, she just like shoves it to the side. Like, he doesn't know much about her, but she gets to meet his family. He's a family of three. Yeah, the mom, his sister, and him. They become one family. That's the girl and the guy's family. They become one. Her and his mom, his sister, they get along very well. The sister loves her so much. Okay, so one day he goes to work and comes back, and he does not see her there. He does not see her in the house, and he's wondering what's going on. Why isn't she here? Day passes, she doesn't come back. Then he decides to go, I think he goes to the police station. I'm missing details, I'm very sorry, it's not very detailed. Watch the movie for yourself, but I'm here to give a review. Okay, so along the course of the line, I think a few days pass, and then she's not turning up. He goes to the police, normal police procedures, nothing's popping up. So he takes matters into his own hands. He puts out a flyer looking for her, and after all the processes have been followed, one day he's lucky to find her doing ashawo. She's doing ashawo. For non-Nigerian folks, she's a sex worker. She's selling her body, and he's like, oh my god, immediately he sees her, he vomits. Like he throws up ASAP because it's like crazy. You're seeing someone that you love and she's on the road literally doing a shower work. So he gives up the search for her. Like, oh, I've seen her, I found her. Okay, that's what she's doing. Okay, did it. So he's sulking, doing his shit. He goes to work normally. Nobody's seeing like what's wrong with him. He goes to work normally and everything. And he's putting up a facade that everything's okay, so his boss doesn't figure it out that anything is wrong. And then one day his sister storms into the house and she's like, brother, what's wrong with you? Do you really love her? Like, even so what she's telling her body, wouldn't you want to find out like why she's doing this and whatever. So she asks him the question, do you love her? And the question strikes him, whatever. And then he decides, okay, I'm going to find her, I'm going to find out what's wrong. So there's one guy, I have failed to mention, Jamil, whatever. Jamil is the person, he's a gang guy, whatever. He goes to meet Jamil. I cannot go into details of the movie because it will be too long. It will be too long of a movie review. But he goes to meet Jamil and Jamil asks Jamil to help him get a gun. Jamil does this as a favor and just asks of him that he helps him write his paperwork. Because Jamil is in school and he just wants his thesis, he just wants to like pass. I'm hustling but I still want to pass. Okay, so Jamil says, I'll get you a gun in exchange for this. You see that the exchange is more like Jamil is doing him a favor. You're not paying me for the gun or anything, I'm going to get it for you. And Jamil does that. Okay, he fast forward to he gets the gun from Jamil and then decides to go get his girlfriend. And then in the process he shoots somebody. He shoots the guy that is in charge of her. And then he shoots him, but he didn't kill him. Okay, he shoots him, he doesn't kill him. And the chick is like reluctant to enter the car. She's like, drop me. He's like, no, I'm not gonna drop you, blah blah blah. And they have their whole argument in the car. And then she gets home and she's a bit off for a while. And finally he gets to find out why she did this. Why she did this because her brother is in jail and her brother snitched on his gang, basically. So the gang was out to kill her brother, and she's like, she's gonna pay over debt for her brother by selling herself to them, like giving them to her. Whatever do you want, I'm going to do it. Let me pay off my brother's debt. So that's the story. So in short, he is involved now in gang war because he has taken their most prized possession. She was paying for her brother's debt for snitching on them to reduce the number of years he was in prison. Okay, fast forward, Jamil comes to meet him like, oh, what's up, have you found your girl? Because niggas from the north end are here and snitching around and they're gonna fuck up my business, whatever. It becomes a huge problem, okay? And he's lying to Jamil and he's like, I don't know her, I don't know where she is, I haven't found her. And Jamil's like, oh, something sketchy. Anyways, he realizes that the only thing that he can do is snitch on Jamil to save himself. And this is the part that I get angry. Like, you are snitching on, like, he's not snitching on Jamil, he's literally setting up Jamil for Jamil to be killed so that him and his babe can be happy. But I'm like, bruh, this nigga was nice to you. He gave you a gun. Like, he literally helped you get a gun, and that was a favor. It's not like you did much for him, just wrote his thesis. You see that it was a huge favor. Like, why do you want to kill this guy? Anyways, he sets him up, and things do not go as planned for this guy. Instead of Jamil getting killed, Jamil is quite smart, and he notices the plot, whatever goes against them. Carries this guy and is like, what's up, why are you trying to like plot on me and everything? So he takes the guy to his oga. His oga is like, I realize that I'm talking a whole lot. Just watch the movie, it's quite interesting. It's gang wars and whatever. This whole thing I'm telling you, he's actually in court telling the story because he fired his lawyers because his lawyers were not doing a good job defending him. He fires his lawyers, and apparently there's a right whereby you can say your last word, defend yourself, your last defense, and then the court will now decide whether you're innocent or not. So that's what he's doing. So he's in court. Everything I'm telling you now, he's in court. He's telling the story whatsoever. And then it seems he's lying about some things because at some point they'll show you the interjections between the court and the real life, like what's happening real time and the story he's telling. So in the real time, his sister's like, what's up, when are you going to stop lying? Like, you're lying, they're gonna catch you. Anyways, fast forward, it turns out finally they tried to kill Jamil the first time. It didn't work out for them. The second time they managed to kill Jamil. So it turns out they are prosecuting him for killing Jamil, but in very sense, in actuality, it's his sister that killed Jamil. She didn't mean to kill him, it was a mistake. She kills Jamil, okay? So he's trying to protect her. I think that's the lie that he's telling, but he's trying to protect her and he's trying to paint it on the girl. That's the love of his life, okay? okay? He's trying to paint it on her so it looks like she's the one that killed Jamil. Anyways, fast forward, the court, after telling his whole touching story, it's time for the court to decide whether he's innocent or guilty. Yes? At this point, I feel like I've mumbled up a whole lot of shit. But I'm coming to the end of the story. And at the end, after the court judges, they give us, the end of the movie is supposed to be, yes, they'll tell us whether he was judged guilty or innocent. At the end of the movie, apparently it's pissing people off that they didn't give us an exact side. They showed us two sides of a coin. The instance where he was not guilty, he goes, he meets his baby girl, like she has left the country, she's there, they reunite, they're in love, whatever. Then they give us the other side of the coin where he's actually guilty and his family is crying. Jamil's family is happy because Jamil's family was in court. So everybody's angry, like, why didn't you decide for us? But I feel like that's the pretty nice part about the movie. They didn't decide for you what reality will be. They left you to choose what your reality was, what your reality is. They left you to choose what you think should be the judgment, what you think the judge should have judged. And for me, I feel like he should be guilty because he got into a lot of shit. Like, for the sake of love, he got into a lot of things that I feel like, okay, you have saved her. Okay, you have saved her from being an ashawo on the street. Okay, tell her to leave your house and go get her life. Like, go figure out your life. Okay, I love you and everything, but me keeping you around me is harm for me and my family. So go sort yourself out. Like, travel if you need to, hide if you need to. I'll give you money to hide. Just don't come around me. I feel like that's what he should have done, but instead he was a fool for love. He was a fool for love, and he ended up not doing that. He fell into a lot of trouble and he ended up involving his sister in the problem, and that's why she killed Jamil by mistake, protecting her brother. So I feel like he should be guilty. He made his family suffer a lot of things and that shouldn't have been so. That's my perspective of the movie. But like I said, reviewing, I love the cast. I love the fact that they brought in an actual African Yoruba cast into it, and the Yoruba was flowing fluently. The accents were really good. The acting was superb. The reactions, everything was lovely. The movie quality, everything was quite good. They narrated the scene very well, and I'd rate this movie an 8 out of 10. Probably an 8 out of 10 because it was really good. Okay, so tell me what you think about my movie review. Tell me if I mumbled. Tell me if I didn't say an actual thing, what you'd like to hear in what, if I should do this again. Just like let me know in the comment section. And if you tell me if you end up watching You Don't Know Me, the series. Okay, bye. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to your friends and family. Okay, thank you very much for watching.